I'm just riding on my bike and
Hello everyone, he's Meo.
And he's Kido.
And we're here to talk about Black Panther 2,
Wakanda
Wakanda Forever. We recently watched the movie, and
we have some thoughts.
kinda cut me off.
It's alright, continue.
No, that's fine, you said what I was gonna say. First, I guess we'll summarize it. This is a spoiler review, so there's really no point in actually summarizing it very much at all.
Yeah.
But for the sake of it, why not? Quick synopsis. Basically, Atlanteans are introduced.
They want Ironheart, Riri Williams, because she can create a machine, but the Wakandas want to protect her.
Queen ends up dying because of some circumstances dealing with Namor, because Namor gets mad because some bad stuff happened.
Shuri takes over as queen and manages to become Black Panther.
Due to some heart-shaped flower stuff that she replicated. She's mad at Namor. She wants to go out to go kill Namor, but in the end, she doesn't end up killing Namor because then they all end up having a truce and they end up being fine.
Yeah. And then at the very end of the movie, we discover that Black Panther, T'Challa, had his son.
So, you probably should have already watched this movie, otherwise you are okay with spoilers and didn't want to watch the movie to begin with, or maybe you want to watch it later. But regardless, we're going to go review it now.
Alright, let's start out with some of the good things that we liked.
Overall, I'd say the performances were very solid. Probably some of the most solid that we've seen in Phase 4 so far. Well, I guess it's the end of Phase 4. Some of the best we've seen in Phase 4.
Indeed. They all seem to give it their all.
Especially the Queen. She seems like a very good actress.
Indeed.
Have I not given everything?
Shuri was pretty well portrayed by
I don't know who the actress's name is, not important.
Batista Wright or something.
Yeah. Namor was okay.
Hi, my name is. My name is. What? My name is. Kukulkan.
He was fine for the most part, but more on him later, I guess.
And Riri Williams was performed admirably. All right, talking about VFX here. The VFX have improved quite a bit from the first Black Panther as far as some things go.
It's been several years since the movie came out, so I don't think I can get canceled for it, but the final battle was really, really bad. It was basically had no impact whatsoever, and the CGI was not very good at all. However, I think they improved things significantly in this movie. There's still some
final battle section. Oh, sorry.
No, yeah, in the final battle section. But there's still some little janky parts, but certainly less than the last movie, or the first movie.
And there is a lot of emotional scenes in the movie, so
they're well performed, and I think one of my favorite parts of this movie is the fact that they take it slightly more seriously than some of the recent projects that are a little bit too loose and kind of, oh, it's goofy and funny and stuff like that.
Loosey-goosey, oh, look at this, it's so funny.
The visuals, like we kind of said with the VFX, the visuals overall in the movie are fine, I think, especially in Atlantis.
Yeah, pretty creatively or interestingly done. It's not like something we haven't seen before ever, but it's pretty interesting to look at. And the Atlantean costuming was pretty good in there. You know?
Yeah, I appreciate the costuming. I think it fit well enough. Some was a little weird, like why you'd wear a bunch of metal underwater, but they can swim really well, so it works out for them.
I guess so. And a sort of odd point to count as a good things, but they didn't nerf Namor too much in the final battle.
Yeah, they easily could have had it so that he was being beat up a lot, but I think that they kept him so he's just strong enough to be a problem, but they had to go think about we have to go weaken him and everything like that, so I think they played that off pretty well.
Now, talking about some of the bad things in the movie, or things that we just didn't like.
These are some of them are opinions, some of them I think are just facts. For instance, the weapons. They never really made that much sense, but some of the weapons in this movie really do not make any sense.
Yeah.
Jog down. Snap.
The spears the Wakandas use, I guess, are made of vibranium. I still don't see why you would use a spear per se. It seems pretty impractical. But they kind of fixed that sort of in Infinity War, where they shot lasers out of them or something. But in this movie, they took that away again.
Yeah, it was really, really weird. I get some of why they would do it for stylistic battles and stuff like that, but it just make more sense if you just fire projectiles. And then there's the whole, it shocks people and something like that. It's trying to be non-lethal while simultaneously still being a spear.
Even when it's being used as a spear to stab people, there isn't any blood or gore, and it seems kind of strange.
I get that trying to sanitize it somewhat, but one of my biggest problems with the shocky weapons is when one of the ladies has knives that shock, and that's just stupid.
Why would you use a shock knife?
You wouldn't. The point of a knife is for quick strikes and mobility and cutting and stuff like that.
Slicing.
You wouldn't want to shock someone. If you wanted to shock someone, you want something like a baton or something like that, like a rod. You go beat them with it. and then go shock them. Even a spear would make more sense in that, because at least it's like part of the weapon. But with a knife, it's like you want to stab them. And you can't say that they want to throw the knives, because that means that you would be stabbing them. Therefore, it's not like a non-harmful, non-lethal kind of thing either.
And if you do throw the knife, and throwing knives can be really dumb in application, because if you miss, it's just gone. And once you stick it in a person, it's gone. And since these are shocks and supposed to be non-lethal, it'll like shock for a little bit and then just fall off. And a knife is supposed to be a backup weapon anyway.
Yeah, so having the whole like double knife thing is a horribly overused weapon for a lot of characters. In this case, it makes even less sense than usual. If it's a thing like, I don't know, your Electro and you can make like lightning knives and you throw them through the air, that makes more sense because you can make a bunch of them. So basically you have a gun, even though you should just shoot lightning guns. But yeah, that doesn't make any sense. The weapons have always had kind of a problem, and this really just highlights that.
There's a scene where Nakia has a gun, which is shown to be more effective against the Atlantean enemy than spears, which makes you wonder why they use the spears, but whatever.
Yeah, even in the final battle, you think they would have like a bunch of guns, apparently because that would kill them.
Yeah.
And you can't say like, oh, they don't want to kill them. Nah, sure, we wanted to go kill them more.
And yeah, kind of monkey branching off of that into armor and costuming, it isn't great.
No. Some of it is like stylistic kind of choices. Other ones just make no sense whatsoever and look really bad. Well, first off, for the VFX and armor, Ironheart does not look good.
No, she looks pretty rough in some areas.
And actually, that wasn't very nice. It was horrible.
It's like the weird CGI from Pacific Rim Uprising, or to call it a Transformer, I think is doing a disservice to Transformers, because the CGI holds up fairly well from the 2007 movie, especially compared to now. This CGI is worse.
Yeah, the design doesn't lend itself well to CGI either. It's way too smooth.
Yeah, and also extraordinarily bulky. It's just not a very good design at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
I liked it better when they just had it like she's just a ripoff of Iron Man. In this case, it had like really weird bulky stuff and everything like that. Just like a War Machine type thing. But even War Machine looks better because like he has guns and stuff like that, but it doesn't like have a huge like back protrusions. I don't know. It's just not a very good
It's just
costume.
ugly to look at and it isn't even functional. Blech.
Waste of money.
The whole flying suits that make I really do not know the warrior woman's name, so forgive me, but it made them look like Terminators, basically, flying through the air.
Pretty much flying Terminators with spears.
It just was not a very good design, in my personal opinion. Yeah, I mean, that's more of an opinion kind of thing. Like, not saying it's objectively looks bad, but for that kind of costuming, I didn't really like it. Ironheart, I think, is objectively bad, but this case, I think, is kind of up for opinion.
An argument could be made.
Yeah, but this is our review, so this is our opinion.
Indeed. And the costuming for some of the, like what the Queen wears and everything is a little bit overdone. Yeah. A little strange, but she's rich, so whatever.
Acceptable. Me being all, I don't know, I'm being pretentious.
I don't know.
Maybe that being pretentious, who knows?
Could be.
Some of the, another point would be some of the African so-called pandering is a little bit annoying and overdone in a lot of parts. I get the fact they're trying to be very traditional, but some of it feels like it's a little bit, very cynical kind of look at it, as well as being it's just so much. For instance, I like the funeral scenes, I think makes sense. It's like a old kind of tradition kind of thing. Then you have the whole, like, the gate where, like, the queen's coming through and everything like that.
Oh yeah, and they push the stupid button, which doesn't open the gate.
It's like a little, like, square that has some water in it, and like he'll hit it, and it opens up the gate. Like, why?
Why would you do that?
It doesn't make any sense, because for one, it should be either a passcode, and this goes like, oh, you hit this kind of certain beat or whatever, but like, why is the water there? It should just be a touch screen that you're like putting like a certain code or whatever. Why are there two people there to do that? I mean, that like centuries or something like that. I don't know, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, just weird little things like that.
It's just incredibly inefficient. It's ridiculous. But it's like, oh no, Africans drum things, right? How about we put some little water drums to open the shield?
I don't know. I just feel like it wasn't a very necessarily a good representation. Like, it didn't feel very honest. It felt very corporate.
Yeah, they were definitely saying, let's make this as African as possible, people.
And I do appreciate the fact that they're trying to like shine more onto the like African kind of cult and stuff like that, but they're also simultaneously very technologically advanced. So, but then they have like these like very low tech houses and stuff like that. Like, maybe that's the point, but it's never really explained, even from the first movie. A lot of the problems in the first movie about how Wakanda works just kind of transfers over to the second movie.
Right. It's like,
yeah.
It's like saying that Americans, because it's based on a European country, that we all drive cars and fly planes that look like boats, the Mayflower or something. We all dress like Puritans.
Yeah. There's a certain case of hold on to tradition, but then there's comes a certain point where, like, because it's been so long, they've moved past some things and they have so much technology, that they would change. They're never given reason. I think that's the main issue.
Yeah, and the movie's, well, this is true of Black Panther 1 as well, but the movie's kind of racist.
Yeah, you say maybe be thinking, what? Black people? This is a movie that has black people in it. How could it be racist?
Don't scare me like that, colonizer.
The black people are all powerful people. Well, I mean, you could argue that's one of the problems. For one, I will say, just because the movie has a cast of mainly black people means it's literally the opposite of diverse.
Yeah, diversity means a diverse representation of multiple groups.
Technically, this is one of the least diverse movies I've ever seen. That's not important. The main issue, I would say, as far as racism goes, is mainly some of the comments, specifically things like colonizer.
Yeah.
I'm not white, but I think that is really in poor taste, and I'm really surprised they managed to get away with that, honestly.
Yeah, it's really, I don't know, it's just quite mean. They refer to the white people as colonizers, but what?
Before it was like, oh, colonizer, it's like, I thought that was too much, but then they said like, oh, my favorite colonizer, it's like, okay, it's a racist pet name.
It could be just be a racist
I mean,
pet
even
name.
then, it implies that she thinks the other people are colonizers, but let's just say it's a pet name. Then the real thing that stuck at home was when, in the final part of the movie, can't tell their name, Okoye, I think his name, maybe, rescues, what's his name? I know this, hold on. Everett Ross, I didn't know that last name Ross. Okay.
I wonder if it's of any relation.
Yeah, could be. But when she saves Ross, and she's like, a colonizer in chains, I really have seen everything. That's too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, the movie, I don't know, maybe is this a consistent thing of Black Panther? I really hope not, but yeah, not very good.
Ironheart is in this movie, yet another character, like a side character introduced into another Marvel movie.
The spear in here. I like it.
Yeah, she's more of a plot device than a character, really.
Yeah, she mainly exists. For one, the movie introduced the idea that vibranium, I guess, can't be tracked. Maybe that's been a thing before. I forget whether Captain America ever went to a airport or not, whether that is an issue. Let's say that's not the first time this has been mentioned. Well, now, of all the people in the world who would want vibranium the most, some kid figured out how to do it. And it's just basically stated that she's a genius and stuff like that. Like, she's a topic for another video. It really did not work out very well.
Oh, no,
but
it didn't.
The main reason she's in this movie is because she made this thing to get vibranium, and then Namor doesn't like that, so then he wants her to be dead, but she just doesn't do anything in this movie besides like need to be killed and fly a little bit. Like even in the final battle, she really doesn't have a point to being there.
You could just write her out altogether and just replace her with any other scientist. It doesn't have to be her.
Yeah.
But they just want to throw in another character.
I'll say it's kind of weird, the fact that everyone wants this vibranium so badly, but just some kid for a science project did it. Like, it was almost like wow, that's amazing, or like, oh, it's kind of a joke or whatever. But it really genuinely does not make any sense.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like Iron Man. Oh, well, back when he was like 12 years old, like he accidentally came up with the arc reactor and was like, oh boy, I somehow created unlimited energy. I guess I'll just put it in the fridge and leave it alone.
No, I just did it for like a science project.
I did it in my sleep.
White and talented, am I right? That's a reference to a line in the movie. Don't think I'm racist.
Yeah, pretty much. That's
I don't know.
That's a lot of the main issues there.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked a lot about the negative stuff just because the stuff takes more time to explain. But I don't know. We probably will not give a score because the people who see this movie, primarily black people who see this movie, will have very strong opinions because it's very emotionally charged, and also, well, listen, people be wilding, and it gets pretty wild out there, and I don't feel like dealing with that.
Me neither. If you like the movie, don't get upset. We didn't like the movie that much. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna give you a number. If you give it a 10 out of 10, it's not a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, but to each their own opinion.
You can like
you to yours and me to mine.
Right. And just because you like something, keep this in mind, doesn't mean it does not have flaws or that it is good.
And just because someone doesn't like something doesn't necessarily mean the movie is that much worse.
Yeah, even if I were to hate the movie, it doesn't mean I hate you.
Yeah, so please be respectful in the comments.
Indeed, we have mixed feelings on it. But
That's
if you really want to know
know.
our opinion, just DM us on Instagram or Twitter or something.
Plug in that Instagram. If we get to 50 followers before the end of the year, maybe we'll do something. I don't know. I'm kind of surprised we even have this many.
Yeah, to be fair. But,
so,
yeah, that's
basically our review. We hope you enjoyed, and maybe you either learned something, or maybe you want to hit that unsubscribe button. But if you're new here, maybe you want to hit that subscribe button. We really hope that you do, because we love you.
Indeed.
Or whatever, I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
This review was interesting.
It was. We didn't cover everything about the movie that we could talk about.
No, because this video is already long enough as it is.
Indeed. We're going to cover those in separate videos, so keep an eye out. Keep an eye out for those.
And if you can't think of anything else to comment, like an opinion or whatever, comment down below
Forever.
if you can't think of anything else.
And until next time, he's Kido.
And he's Meo.
And we hope you have a blessed day.
Bye.
Bye.